Fellow auto detailers, welcome to the show that features interviews with today's most successful auto detailers. This is the Auto Detailing Podcast. Here's your host, Jimbo Balaam.
Hey, it's Jimbo with the Auto Detailing Podcast, coming back for another quick tip. Today's quick tip is to always be focusing on efficiency. How you can do what you do faster, but not only faster, but also better. And this is one thing that we talk a lot about, and we've had just efficiency all-stars like Ivan LaCroix on the show to talk about some of his tips to just make his business more efficient, and especially in your systems and processes and stuff like that. And I feel like that's one thing that's really lacking in the detail industry is that we as detailers see it kind of as it just takes this amount of time to do this specific thing to a car, or it just takes this many steps to get this corrected, or it takes this long to apply a sealant, or this long to wash a car. You get the gist. And one thing I really want to encourage you guys to do is be looking at new ways and kind of obscure ways to make your life easier, but also more efficient. And there's a ton of ways that you can do this. Anything from making sure that your car washing techniques are right. Again, going from maybe a double bucket and a pressure washer to maybe more of a waterless or a rinseless option may be faster. I found that to be way faster. Applying a sealant, maybe instead of applying a sealant with a machine, maybe you find a sealant that you can apply by hand. And I have some of those at autodetailingpodcast.com/resources. Use that. This is a little side note, but I set up that page, the resource page on autodetailingpodcast.com, to help with your efficiency. There are a ton of tools in there that I've personally used, all of them I've personally used, and they're all geared towards efficiency. So maybe it's more efficient to, when you're polishing out a car, to use a rotary as your first step and then follow it up with a DA. Maybe you're not proficient in a rotary. Well, practice on that. Get more efficient. And because too often we only look at one side of the coin when it comes to increasing profitability, and we only look at increasing prices. Oh man, I need to increase my price to this so I can make more money. And one side of the coin that we don't look at often enough is, how can I get more efficient so I could do something faster? For example, if you're charging, let's just say $75 for a wash and a wax with an interior vacuum, and it's taking you 2.5 hours to do that, or let's make it easy, 2 hours to do that, you're making about $37.50 an hour, right? Well, if you could pick up efficiency tips to where maybe you can wax the car as you're drying it, so you don't have to dry the car and then wax it, that would save you a ton of time. And what if you bought a better vacuum so you're not spending so much time vacuuming out the car? That's one thing I've learned. I used a rigid vacuum from Home Depot, and I stepped it up to the Metro Vac and Blow. Man, I've probably cut my vacuuming time in half. So if you could get that, instead of bumping your price up to, say, $125 an hour, or $140, for that same service to make $70 an hour, what if you could get that service done in an hour? And you didn't have to raise your prices to the customers, but you just became more efficient, and you're making more money, because now you're making $75 an hour instead of $37.50 an hour. So your customers don't notice any difference other than you just got more efficient. So efficiency is key within your detailing business, and I would highly recommend, one thing that Ivan talks about is recording yourself. Prop your phone up against something and record yourself as you wash a car, as you detail a car. One thing that was a big factor for me to go over to a waterless or water smart or rinseless, whatever you want to call it, method is I was wasting too much time circling the car while I was washing it. So that's wasting time. Every time you go around the car to do something, you're wasting time. So the less times around the car, the better. So I went from going around a car, probably a couple dozen times to going around the car maybe 6 times tops. And when I have a guy help me out, the other day I had a guy helping me, real quick side story. We did 3 car washes, just 2 of us, 3 car washes inside and out. That's vacuuming, wiping them down, dressing the tires, cleaning all the rims, cleaning all the windows. We did 3 cars. 2 of them were SUVs. 1 was a sedan in 40 minutes. Okay, that's efficient, I feel like. If it's not, I could be wrong. You could be doing it faster, but I feel like that's pretty quick. So set up a phone, see where you can not cut corners, but get more efficient and increase your profits.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Auto Detailing Podcast. Head on over to autodetailingpodcast.com to read our full show notes, blog post, updates, and even sign up for our newsletter so you can be the first to hear about the latest and greatest all things auto detailing podcast. And don't forget, if you leave us a rating and review on iTunes, it'll help us reach other auto detailers just like you, and you may even get a shout out at the top of a future episode. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on the next episode.